Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Football Shirt Social, your now bi-weekly guide to football shirts here on YouTube, or if you're listening on Spotify, welcome to you as well. I am, of course, your host, Tony Jameson, joined, as always, by my right-hand man, Si Maggio. But today, we have an extra guest with us again. Everyone, say hello to Nic Madden. Nic, hello, pal. How are you?
Thanks, Tony and Si, for having me. Yeah, I'm really, really well. And yeah, excited to chat football shirts with you guys this evening.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure to get you on. Obviously, for those people who don't know who Nic is, Nic, can you give us your day-to-day job title, what it is you do, and then say, we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about football shirts instead.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm Nic Madden. So I work on Football Manager for Sports Interactive. I work as the senior producer on the Match Engine. So been working on all things FM24. That I know that you guys make some amazing content about, and get the fans excited. And yeah, I'm here today to basically talk nothing really about FM. Well, I'm sure we can, obviously I'll share some tidbits, like at the end of the day, like when you like collect football shirts and you love football shirts so much, like football shirts are synonymous with football players. So I think sometimes you fall in love with football players because of watching them, or virtually managing them, or virtually just falling in love with them as well. And yeah, even the shirt behind me is even like a FC Toe Madeira shirt. So football shirts almost, it's very, very hard to escape the day job when you love football shirts so much.
Yeah, I'll have to dig out I've got my AFC Wimbledon one that's got the Football Manager logo. I'll have to dig that out to show you as well. The last one from Plough Lane, I picked that one. It was an absolute belter. It's nice. It's nice.
I haven't got Wimbledon. I've got where's my one? Here it is. I've got a hashtag United one.
There you go. Right, wow. You take over this. I'm going to get me football show. We're getting our Football Manager.
He's going to get a football show. Which one? What's the one behind you then, Nic? Did you say what team is that?
That was the old Sunday League team that I used to manage in London. So yeah, it's FC Toe Madeira. So we used to play every Sunday as basically the staff of SI and friends. It sort of evolved over time because some of us aren't amazing at football.
That happens.
Yeah, but it was, it's incredible. I managed the team for about 2 seasons, about 2.5, before unfortunately the team then disbanded.
There you go. That's got the old logo on it. That one. That's the old Football Manager logo.
Yeah,
that one's got it on as well. Yeah. I think mine's a bit newer, but they must still be a few years old because they went with Adidas recently. They were with Hummel. I don't know if they're still sponsored by Football Manager hashtag. I don't think they are they? I think they've got like Lucozade or something now, or probably Prime drinks or something.
I think after us, I believe they went to top 11. I want to
say. I think they might have done, but I didn't want to mention it while you were there. I don't know if you.
Oh no, it's okay. I think they just sort of bounced around, but I think we were with them for like 1 season, I believe.
Do you know which teams do have Football Manager now? Is it just AFC Wimbledon? I believe
it's just them.
I know some clubs have it in the stadium. Some clubs which aren't licensed in game still have Football Manager sponsoring. I think Brighton are licensed.
Brighton are licensed, yeah.
I remember. I can't remember who it is. It was Leicester or someone had the branding.
I think Leicester had a license as well, didn't they?
Leicester, and then we do sort of more sponsorship with like women's football now as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
ready for ladies.
25. So we got to play on Goodison's pitch, which was incredible.
I was going to say Everton was one, wasn't it? Yeah. That's awesome. That's fantastic. I love that. I mean, as we've said, obviously, you're right. You work in Football Manager, so we've really put our list of contacts. We've really reached out, haven't we, Si? At this point, who should we get in? Like we tend to get a lot of players who play FM on the show, and then when we get people who make FM instead, that could be a little thing as well. We will say before we get started, though, Nic. Obviously, Si, we used to go. We did the show weekly, right? We did the show weekly. That was how we were meant to do it. And a little peek behind the curtain for everybody. We were going to record Nic's episode last week. Now, part of the reason that we've gone bi-weekly is, sort of collective workloads and stuff. But last week was also the Super Bowl, right? And I'm sorry, we recorded a Sunday, and I went to hang out with my mates to watch the Super Bowl, so we couldn't do it. And I was trying to work out, how do we even tease this? Nick, has the same surname as someone massive in the NFL world. Don't even know if you're a big NFL fan or not, Nick, but there I was having a terrible time because the 49ers lost again.
I used to go and watch American football when I used to live in the States, but not as. I find it just really, really difficult to understand all the rules. But certainly enjoy the sport. I more fell in love with watching like the college football. Got to go to the Rose Bowl and watch UCLA quite a few times, which was just absolutely incredible. But yeah, now I just try and watch it for the halftime shows and to see Taylor Swift, really.
She had a great game. No one could mark her at all. She had all the pitch and everything. It was just, if anything, a distraction, Si.
I think so. I did hear someone tried to get a seat next to her, who we should probably not mention, and got kicked out of the stadium just to get on screen. But yeah, that's he's a big football shirt fan as well. But I think unless he changes his ways, we shouldn't talk about him. So yeah, there's I mean, there's some interesting kits in. Were there any? Who's got the best? Go on, let's go. Who's got the best football kit? If we're talking American football, Tony.
Ooh, right, okay. So this is an interesting one because most of them tend to be fairly plain, right? That's the whole idea, isn't it? But I'm a 49ers fan, and I'll be honest, I think the 49ers kit is a bit dull. It's just red with a tiny bit of white on it on the sleeve, and of course the road kit is white with a tiny bit of red on it. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars. The black and turquoise and gold sort of works quite nicely. I think the Cleveland Browns is quite iconic, brown with white and orange. But it's all color schemes for me, really, and the color schemes either work or they don't work. The Chicago Bears color scheme works nice. Navy blue, white, orange. There's Pittsburgh Steelers, black, white, yellow. It's just breaking it together. But the one kit I can't stand, and I'll be honest, I feel really bad about this. There's a certain, I feel as though like it's a sort of new gen sort of manufacturer. The Ravens have got it, don't like their kit. The Buccaneers have got it, don't like their kit. And the Tennessee Titans have got it, don't like their kit. So I think they've gone rogue. So not feeling that, because I think they all get manufactured by the same people, but not them apparently.
I'm just seeing if I can load it so we can show the visual listeners, the visual watchers.
The visual listeners.
The viewers. The viewers. There we go.
The viewers, as they're also called. There we go. Right. Oh, see, now I've got the Ravens shirt on there. It actually looks all right.
I don't know if that's the current one. I would guess so. $141. We will come back to that.
We'll come back to that, yeah.
But yeah, it's Nike. That's Nike.
Yeah, but I think it's made by a slightly different material. I'm not sure about the badge on the sleeve either. I don't know. I should get my mate Fury on here. He'll talk about this. We may have had a bit of a chat about the Ravens shirts and the Buccaneers shirts, and yeah, between us, we don't really like them.
Is it? So do they never have the name on the front? Oh, the Buccaneers is the same then, is it?
Well, yeah, they have that on the front. Yeah, the Bills shirt looks class as well. That's quite smart, to be honest.
There we go. Mm-hmm. We've given Tony his allocated time of NFL.
It's fine. It's fine. To be honest,
colors. Sorry, I was just going to say, I still love the color scheme of the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, the Dolphins is good.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, I think as a British person, I think it's okay to pick an NFL team based on the color of their kit. Like, it's totally fine, because none of us have got. Well, I say none of us. The majority of us don't have an affiliation towards a specific American football side or a state or whatever. So I think you're allowed to pick based on the color of the kit.
So when I was a kid, we went to Florida. And we used to buy our clothes there because it was so much cheaper than the UK. I don't think it's the case now, but like tax reasons and whatever. So whenever we went there, my parents used to buy all our clothes while we were over there in Florida. So you could go in like the outlet stores and things, which also we do have outlet stores in the UK now, but for a long time we didn't. So we go in there, but I remember walking around like with the Miami Dolphins hat and a Dallas Cowboys t-shirt, not having any clue that I was wearing two completely different teams. Oh, and I cringe to think about that now. I think, what was I doing?
But the interesting thing about that though is that, like, because we've spoken about this during previous episodes of the show, that for some reason I have this weird thing in my head that I won't buy like a shirt that's obviously not legitimate for a start. That's not a weird thing to have. But I don't buy team wear or anything like that. Like, it's not my thing. I just don't get into it. However, I would quite possibly buy something that just has NFL branding on it, just to go, oh, there you go. That's it. That's an NFL jumper. Nearly bought one in the middle of Aldi, going up to the Super Bowl. There's, oh, here's NFL pajamas. I'm like, I don't wear pajamas, but I could possibly do that. But I think nothing of doing that. I think nothing of buying a T-shirt that has, you know, the NFL print or whatever on it. But for football, I wouldn't have one that just says football. It'd be weird.
See, T-shirts I wouldn't. What would you get? Premier League. Premier League doesn't seem to brand itself in the same way that NFL does, or like the American sports. Like, you wouldn't get a big T-shirt with their Premier League lion on it, would you? In the same way you would get like an NFL T-shirt or an NBA T-shirt.
I don't know. I bought the Nike made one that I think was it Florida? I'm not sure if it was Florida because I don't think the color scheme matches, but it was like one of those sort of just do it Nike T-shirts with the college helmet on there as well. And I was like, that looks pretty cool. So I bought that. But again, no affiliation to the team or whatever. I was like, that was pretty good. Like Sunderland have got at the minute, and I need to get one of these before they change the kit manufacturer in the summer. They've got the Sunderland T-shirt with the Nike tick across the middle, and it's black. And instead of having just do it, it just says Howe. And I think that's brilliant. Like, I just totally have that.
That sounds amazing.
Can't get them for love nor money. They are sold out so quickly. Like, everyone just went, that's class. We need one of them. So we should say as well, by the way, this is a slightly elongated start to the show. We tend to find out what people are wearing on this on these shows as well. And it's a lot less creepy than it sounds, Nick. So talk to us first of all then about what you're wearing, because of course the loyal viewers can see, and for the listeners, we might have to be a bit more descriptive.
Of course. So I'm wearing a 97-98 Celtic home shirt. So with that, it's sports. I guess unusual, but the manufacturer being Umbro, and also the sponsor at that time. It's also got the Celtic crest around the edges here in the shirt. So almost like the sort of that period of the sort of 90s where you had like the emblem or the stadium in the shirt. Especially with Vumbo kits of that nature. It's got a collar, or sort of a double collar as well, which is pretty cool. So I quite like it. You can do the old Cantona if you really wanted to. It's also got some embroidered because it was the time where Celtic actually broke they broke the 10 in a row, which both Rangers and Celtic are falling at the hurdles to try and get 10 in a row, and neither team has been able to do it in Glasgow. And it was Henrik Larsson's first season. It was Wim Janssen as the manager. And yeah, sort of got a bit of Umbro on the sleeves. It actually does have Larsson number 7 on the back. So that it was my first. This was bought for me when I was about 12 years old, and it still fits to this day. So I was either a very, very big kid, or it was just because they just bought it as big as possible for me, so I would grow into it. But it's incredible. It still fits now. But the Larsson number 7's come off over the years because I actually took it traveling with me for so many years and forgot to wash it inside out, and washed it at the wrong temperature. So you know, it's still an amazing shirt. It's something that, like, it's one of my earliest shirts, and the first time I ever went to Celtic Park, I got the shirt and then went for a stadium tour, and yeah, just fell in love with the football club at that time, especially as the team wasn't very good in the 90s, really. Sort of now it's a powerhouse, so it's quite nice to. At the time, they were the underdog, which sounds very odd saying, but yeah, it's.
Well, I was going to say the Rangers team of that time was dominated, wasn't it, by superstars? And then, as you say, this little Swedish lad turns up at Celtic Park, and he turned out to be quite fine, didn't he? Really, and he was an absolute find. Si, it's a belt of that Celtic top, isn't it? Really,
it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's got that sort of classic Umbro design with down the middle. What do you say? 1997.
Yeah, 97.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's about the same time as where the centralized England one as well, right? You know, England had Umbro, and did Manchester United have Umbro then? I think they did as well, right? They had a centralized one. They're classic, those shirts. I really like them.
I love the fact as well you bought that when you were 12 and it still fits. Like Si and I buy each other a gift every month. There's ones that Size bought that I can't get into, and he bought them in the last month. Like, how's that even happened? You know, it's just like, like I don't, you know what?
Size is so inconsistent.
Yeah.
It is, but also I guess from this era, right? There was no sort of like skin fit, or it was way before sort of like Kappa. That was sort of really brought it to the forefront of like, oh, how tight a football shirt could be. And now obviously you can get like player issue shirts, and they really do like cling to your body, and sometimes in all the wrong places if you're my size. So it's actually quite nice that it just fits and it's just straight. And I think someone mentioned in a pod previously about like folding shirts and
how square they are.
Yeah.
These are the old square ones, yeah.
I love it. I love that slightly different height on the collar. Again, for anyone who's watching, listening to this on Spotify, I'm really sorry. I will try and describe it for you. There's a deep set V at the front, with where you would normally have a normal outside collar, and then there's like a panel bit that says Celtic, just in case you forgot who you're playing for. It says that there. And it's quite a size, isn't it? And it sort of fits with the top hoop across the shoulders, but again, there's just a slight sort of the lining's ever so different with that green stripe on there as well. It's just, I don't know, I like it, but I can imagine that a lot of people. I know we've got people on the podcast previously who have been angry about collars. They'll be up and down in their houses right now, won't they? They'll be shouting at the telly and everything.
Yeah, multiple collars. I like it. I mean, I've got a weird collar on mine, so it's not exactly a usual collar, but yeah, like I like it. It's sort of, I think it depends how they do it. Sometimes it just looks tacked on, and sometimes it looks like, yeah, that's a good part of the shirt. It makes sense as part of the shirt. Someone I was talking to the other day doesn't even like was it on there? Or was it who
it was on here, wasn't it? Yeah.
Did he say he doesn't even like collars?
Yeah,
doesn't even like actual collars.
As I was saying before we started recording, Nick, some people look at these shirts as if they're an actual footballer rather than I'm in my 40s. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Is there some stitching within the green stripe as well, where you've got the bit about the 10 in the row? Is there some stitching in there as well? Some sort of wording, is it? Or is it just the reflection? Is there a bit of a pattern with that goes underneath?
What you mean here?
Yeah, like within the actual green itself.
Oh, within the green, yeah, there is this little little diamonds as well, which is actually quite interesting because in I think a kit that I got maybe 1 or 2 seasons, they've got a similar print than in a newer kit, because they've sort of harked back to these sort of like era. But yeah, it's got basically all little diamonds in there. It's like diamond check, so a bit of a darker green, and then a sort of a. I think it's really, really hard to see. I guess I was trying to say, yeah, it's just two-tone green. Yes, and just for me, it's so comfortable. But it is one of those old shirts that also bobbles quite a lot. I used to remember like when you used to have like almost like de-bobble stuff. So from that era,
yeah, to get the pulls out, yeah, that's annoying. The last thing you want is to like get a pull or something in your old shirts and in the wash or somewhere. But they're pretty hardy, those old shirts. They hold up pretty well.
Yeah, I can't believe that it's still like lasted a test of time. Obviously, yeah, the prints come off the back, but except for that, it's pretty much in a really, really good condition. I can still wear it all the time, and yeah, I just can't believe it still fits, really. So I'm going to cling on to it now.
It's beautiful. As I say, I'd have been terrified of you as a 12-year-old walking around the size you are now. But just like,
I guess if you want me to give you perspective, right? So this was the away kit from the season before.
And you've got that kit.
So yes, this is the original Bumblebee kit, but that doesn't fit me anymore. But that used to fit me. So look at that.
That looks tiny. Oh my word.
So this is the only kit that I have that I cannot get into, and it's purely because, and this is a youth. So it's a youth size, but there's no way I'm going to get into this. But I'm trying to obviously buy a newer one that will fit me. But there's so many remakes that you almost like, there's so many fakes out there. It's ridiculous. And so it's really, really difficult. I'm like, do you go like because they can go for about 150 quid because it's such a rare shirt. But it's quite interesting actually. Like someone had actually got a hole in it, so there's actually an Umbro on the back. So someone's cut out a bit of an Umbro and stuck it over it just to almost cover up the holes. And so I bought it like this from a sports shop, so you can see it's like all like inside.
Oh yeah.
They've put that to cover the holes, but the shirt is just immaculate. But I love the badge. The crest is just like that's my favorite. So
it's
that's
a badge in a badge.
We said that again last week, Si. Badges in badges, or badges in crests.
Portsmouth have got a badge in a badge at the minute, and I noticed it, and it wound me up. A badge inside a badge.
It's also of that era as well that, of course, fans of Celtic and Rangers will remember. Both sides sharing the same sponsor. Interestingly, CR Smiths, wasn't it? So they had that. I think they had Carling later on down the line as well, didn't they? Both the same.
They both have Carling
and NTL.
Yes, yeah. I think that's very much companies making sure that they don't only have half of their business in Glasgow.
Well,
things, and there's no sort of favoritism or anything in that sense, isn't it? So it's like, right, let's make sure they're both got the same sponsor, and then they can't argue about that. They'll find something else to argue about, but they can't argue about which car you're going to go and get your CR Smith from. So was it cars or was it windows?
Do you know, I have no idea what they actually did. It's incredible, really, isn't it?
It was People's Ford. They had People's Ford on the other green kit. Of course, all Celtic kits are green. The neon, the brown and green and white with the Jags, with the red stripe on it as well. That's an absolute belter. If anyone ever finds that, that's a shirt and a half to go and have a look at. We'll do some memory kits in a second. And Si, you've got a very, very interesting shirt on.
Well, actually, before I get to my shirt, there was something else Celtic I wanted to bring up, as if like Celtic Rangers doesn't cause enough controversy. So this week, a club released a shirt inspired by Celtic. There is a political angle to this, but if we can just be sensible and move past that, if you'd like to share it, Tony. So there's a Chilean club called Palestino, which is set up by Palestinians in Chile. Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen their new shirt, but basically they because of the Celtic support for things that are going on in Palestine right now, they basically added the Celtic badge to their shirt and made a Celtic inspired shirt, which I thought was really interesting.
That's pretty cool, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so that it was set up from Palestine immigrants that were in Chile. And it's sort of the reason why it's sort of that link with Celtic is because it was like the Irish immigrants that were based in Glasgow that set up the club. So it was based off of, but based essentially on famine and just feeding the people. And yeah, it's certainly it's interesting to see that. But yeah, it's a really, really obviously tough subject as well, because we actually have an Israeli player who plays for Celtic and isn't almost wanting to play at the moment, which is like a really sad state of affairs, where sort of football and politics and religion all mix. And so yeah, it's certainly I'm probably one of the rare Celtic fans that actually do really support Scottish football, and any Scottish team that are in Europe, I support them. Even if it's Rangers, I'm like, please just get the win for the Scottish football almost. But it's very, very sad that not everybody thinks like that. But certainly I'm just like, well, the more that they win in Europe, the better coefficient points.
Yeah,
it's better for the whole game. More Champions League places. Like everybody benefits, and then the national team's even better. And yeah, but yeah, that shirt is pretty cool though.
I love that Nick's thinking in coefficients, Tony, just like me and you have been on.
I am as well. Yeah. I love all Greek teams equally. Apart from Olympiacos.
I don't know if you know, Nick, but both me and Tony are doing a builder nation where our goal is to get the country that we're in to the top of the European coefficients. So I'm doing Belgium and Tony's doing Greece. And Tony's you're doing pretty well, aren't you? You're not to fifth now.
Doing right, yeah. We're moving on quite nicely, and it sort of helps because AK won the Europa League in 2028, and then Panathinaikos beat Tottenham to win the conference, the Euro Conference, in 29-30. So yeah, we're doing right.
It's nice work. Anyway, no football manager. Let's move forward.
Sorry, that's all right. Nick, I thought you're about to unveil something.
No, right. Oh, go on, Nick.
I was just going to say that the shirt that you had on screen, because obviously that's
the other one, the Celtic one, yeah.
So and that's sort of based off.
It's a nice shirt. Shame about the sponsor. I'm not a fan of the betting sponsors, but
then someone, I don't know how you guys feel. Maybe we can get onto it afterwards. But players that have never worn the shirt. So someone sold this online for 20 quid because they bought it. Jota had left, and so I was like, well, I'll wear it. I'm quite happy to.
I got I bought me a Sampdoria shirt that had Ray on the back, and then it's fallen off. And I don't think Ray ever played for Sampdoria, but it was number 10
Ray
still
Wilkins
there,
or Ray. No,
I don't know.
Ray was.
I
mean, I saw on.
This is it. So on the back there, you can see this stitching fell off.
Removed.
Right?
Wow.
So there's Ray. Ray fell off, but there's the with the proper numbering as well.
Yeah.
So poor Ray never played for Sampdoria.
I think Ray might have been a Genoa fan, and someone got at him as a joke. I saw some. We've been scouring Whatnot for bargains, me and Tony, all the time. And yesterday I was watching one, and a Torres shirt, Fernando Torres shirt, went up AC Milan, but it was a 2011 shirt. And he didn't play there till like 2015. So people were like bidding on it. And then someone went, he didn't play there at that time. It suddenly stopped. So everyone stopped bidding. They were like, oh, damn, he would never wore that shirt. But yeah, it was very odd that like someone put Fernando Torres on an older AC Milan shirt. You would have thought, like, I also didn't think Fernando Torres was still going until 2019, but he was.
Maybe it's a Football Manager fan. They've got it as part of their save. We'll talk about that as we go a little bit further down as well. Mr. Maggio. Let's talk about this shirt of yours, shall we?
Yeah, sure. So I've got a few of these. You were talking about sizing, actually. And last time, when I came down to the Sports Interactive offices, I had a little pop into classic football shirts. And I've been after these Mexican... there's a Mexican brand, Charlie. Here it is on this one. And they make some... Every year they do a set of special shirts. This year's ones aren't very good. So 4 years ago, they did Day of the Dead ones. And I picked up this long sleeve, small... Day of the Dead one for Club Atlas, but it's very, very tight, and I can barely wear it. And I wonder if it's because it's long sleeve. And after that, I always thought, right, I have to buy medium of this brand. And I do actually own this one. Here we go. This is gonna look. I've actually got two of this one, so I bought a medium one, brand new. But then I was looking on Depop the other day, and this one was up for like 15 quid or something. And normally these shirts go for 40, 50 quid if you can find them cheap. I thought. It was a small. I thought, do I just buy it? Like, and then I've got one to wear, and I can, the one with the tags on still. Maybe I can resell it, or I can have two of them. I don't know, because they're so nice. I almost don't want to wear them, so I don't feel so bad about wearing this one. But yeah, this was the year after they did a series of Lucha Libre shirts. So you can see the collar is like it's like a Mexican wrestler's mask, like the back of the mask, and it's got like the leather laces that tie it together. And then obviously this one is the mask, and then like the sort of like text which you'd sort of get on like the poster for a lucha wrestling event. So this one is Pachuca. But yeah, they're all different. Like one of them's made up like a newspaper or poster. One of them's like I've got another one here somewhere. It's like the is it this one? No, it'll take me a while to find it. Oh, here we go. This one. There's another one. That's Club Leon.
Oh, isn't it? That's lovely. That little dash of pink on there is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. Let me see if I've got. So I think I've now got all the Day of the Dead ones. As for the wrestling ones, I'm still working my way through it. So I actually also made a mistake with this one, thinking I didn't already own it. And it was like just very late night, and then I was like, oh, I don't own that one. I'll get it. And then when I realized the next day, wait, I do own that one. I can't find the other one right now, but there is also there's a black one which with like a black wrestler's mask on it, which is really cool. Yeah, so this is Charlie. This is my favorite Mexican brand. Unfortunately, last year they did like Mexican folktale. So the three up until last year were all like Mexican themed, but then this year they got sponsored by Call of Duty, and the ones this year are Call of Duty, and they're not quite as nice, and it feels all a bit corporate and not very Mexican inspired. So yeah. And the other thing about this one, which I find strange, so the wrestler ones, this one and the other one I showed you, don't have sponsors on them, which is very unusual for Mexican shirts, as you might know. So if I show you one of the Day of the Dead ones, for example, absolutely covered in the sponsors, like sponsors all over, 1 million sponsors. But the wrestler ones, they never put sponsors on, which is kind of nice. I like the sponsorless versions.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I like the color scheme on it as well. There's me going straight back to colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love it. Beautiful. I've gone with the shirt that we both own.
Yeah. I got mine.
We've mentioned it before. I should have got mine for Christmas. Shout out, by the way, to Rugio, who's one of my mods in my stream, who basically, this is the PSIS Samarang Indonesian. It's a special shirt, isn't it? Size special anniversary shirt they brought out, third shirt, I think.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And basically, the story behind this, unsurprisingly, Nick, goes back to Football Manager 2021. I started doing my content. FM22. I decided I'm going to do a Build a Nation save in Indonesia, which meant I'm going to manage lots of teams in Indonesia because I don't really know what Build a Nation is, and I'm not very good at the game. So I started out with a team called PSS Sleman. Can't buy a shirt for them for love nor money. Ended up at Pesita, came to PSIS, and won the league. So they were my team, and we were incredible, right? Really, really good. And what we should have done at that point was we should have then gone on to try and challenge for the Asian Champions League, stuck with the save, but I bottled it and ran away to Uruguay and figured that would be the best way to do the save. And it just died, sadly. Like, all the interest went, there was no momentum. So I do kind of have a little bit of we should go back to Indonesia at some point, like, because the story's not fully told yet. And obviously, when we saw this shirt came out, there was a big sort of like song and dance about releasing it. Classic football shirts over the Christmas had it as part of their advent calendar, and they went, all right, we're selling this off for like 20 quid or 25 quid, or whatever it was. And I was sort of like saying on one of my streams, I was like, oh God, the Samarang shirt's out. Like, I should probably get that, shouldn't I? And as I say, shout out to my mod Rugio, who chucked a whole bunch of gifted subs out and went, just buy the shirt. Like, so he was buying the shirt for me. Now, what you two probably know, and what the people listening potentially might know, I am currently about to have an assessment for ADHD, so I forgot to buy it over Christmas, and therefore had to go and get it in January when the price had gone up. So I put an extra bit of money towards it. But you know what? Appreciate you, Rugio. I got the shirt. This is it. Look at this.
Beauty, that is.
It's not mucking about.
It's something, isn't it?
That sort of dragon in the background is just
the
artistic detail into it. Look at that.
It reminds me of like Hawaiian shirts I wore as a kid. You know, if you went on holiday, you'd have to have a fun shirt, and that would be the fun shirt you get to wear out on the evening.
This is very un-Tony. Like, this is very loud. Like, I'm normally sort of like style. No, I go for like sort of crisp, clean shirts. I'm 44. Like, do you know what I mean? I can't be walking around with a dragon on me anymore. I'm not The Rock. Like, so come on. Like, I need to rein it in a bit, right? So here I am walking around with this. But, honestly, it's an absolute banger. Like, it's just one of those shirts where I'm looking at it, like, and I keep looking going, I don't know how they came up with this. And I don't understand how I've now got it. But fair enough, I have. And the badges, I think the badge is stuck on. But it's like black and silver. So again, like, they changed, obviously they went monochrome for the shirt with, of course, the star in there as well. And then the manufacturer again just printed on in silver as well. So just a really, really nice one, really nice kit. And I think it fits. I think it does.
The club crest looks like a shiny sticker,
doesn't it? Yeah, but what it looks
really
like, it looks like a shiny sticker from Command and Conquer. Like, and it's one of the it's some army you've joined by accident.
By the way, if you haven't ever been to Indonesia, it's an incredible country. It's so beautiful out there. Food's delicious. Lots of island hopping.
Are you listening, Mrs. J? We have to go on holiday to Indonesia. So yeah, we'll
go collect some other shirts from there.
Oh, could you imagine? Yeah. Well, sorry for FM chat, but we went to and again, Sleman was the team that we started out with, and the reason we started with Sleman, we're talking there about the Palestinian team in Chile. We chose Sleman because they have got a female-led ultras division, which is like unheard of in Indonesia. Like, they that club, the female fans felt really unsafe being in the ground because it was so hyper masculine and really toxic. So they were sort of saying, well, look, we're the new generation, we're the younger people coming through. We want to watch the team. So they created their own ultras division, which became the largest ultras division of the club. And then they've got this sort of ethos now where you can't have negative chanting for the team as well. So like it's literally a case of like, we're here and you only encourage the team. You don't boo the team, you don't slag the team off, the manager, none of that. We'll do that. Once the game's finished, we'll do it. But while they're playing, let them do it. And if they're crap, they're crap. We'll sort it out later. But it's just an amazing mind shift. Wow. And the Copper 90 did a documentary on it, and my eyes were just like wide open. I was like, this is amazing. Like, and they tried to sort of make the club appear more professional in the fact that they had a ticket office rather than just people turning up randomly to buy tickets. They went, right, your tickets here, and this is what it was. And it was, we were like, right, that's the team for us. So we started there. So we might get some Slemming shirts in the future, but yeah, Indonesia will roll back on. I think we'll go back and do that. But we should probably come back to the reason that we're actually here, which of course is football shirts. Now, Si, what we tend to ask our guests is a very simple question, isn't it?
Yep.
When did you first get into football shirts, Nick? When was the first time you looked at that and thought, that's not just uniform, is it? That's a thing.
I'd say probably 1996, like especially around Euro 96. That was definitely my first tournament that I remember. I always feel like your football life story from like the first international tournament that you remember.
Yeah.
And yeah, certainly that was really like in my eye line, and loved football. And just at that point, and I was a kid at that point, so you would just like, I would draw football shirts, so draw similar to like back behind me, just like create different kits. So what I thought would be a great kit, sadly, I grew up in Devon, so the closest team to me was at Exeter, and so everybody that I went to school with was pretty much a Man United fan. So that was one of the first shirts that I was bought, was a Man United shirt, and I think back then I didn't even get the official shirt. I got one of those ones where you could then like iron on the player name set, and actually you had to iron on the badge as well. It was so, or you had to like you basically got the shirt, but you had to then like stitch on the badge yourself. And I think my mum did it for me. Incredible, very, very weird, but it was the era of that grey kit, and I got one of those. But again, you had to like stick on the badge, and again, I can't. I've never seen those shirts again, so I can only imagine that they've probably fallen apart because they were definitely fake at that point. But also, I didn't care as I was a kid, just running around playing a bit of football. And
I think that's the thing. Like, sort of the younger generation side, they're not going to know about that, are they? Like, the whole thing of ironing on your club crest was definitely a thing. Like, I remember just before that was, because I'm a few years older. Like, I remember, because now we hear about replica kits. Yeah. Like when I was a youngster, the word replica meant knockoff and fake. So down in the markets, down on the quayside of Newcastle, or down on the seaside, and the seaside where Sunderland is, right, you would get replica kits in a little box, right, and it would be the shirt, the shorts, and the socks all together. And again, you'd iron the badges on, but it wouldn't be official. It would be like you could literally get the home kit and the away kit, and it's clearly not the same thing, but it's a fairly close to original thing as it is. But it had replica all over it. And I remember saying, like, when it started to become like, no, that's the official kit, is a replica. I'm like, no, this is nonsense, man. This is knockoffs. I know what a replica kit is. And arguing in the sports shops, going, you're selling knockoffs here, and like, no, this is like, you've been buying them for a long time. Oh, sorry, sir.
It's even the era as well where the name sets were not official as well, or there wasn't really a proper, like, say, Premier League name set at that point. Yeah. Most of them were sort of like just plain white or plain black, and so you would take your shirt sometimes into and I've seen it a lot of like shirts on eBay and stuff where they're a lot older, where someone has taken it into an embroidery shop and they've got a name set put in it that isn't official. It's just blank number and names. Before, sort of like JJB Sports was the place to go to get your to get your kit all printed up. But yeah, that's so interesting, that sort of era. Yeah, going to the markets. We had a little sports shop in our town, and that's how I fell in love with football shirts as well. I used to go in my pocket money, and I'd pay £2 off every week, and he would and I didn't realize until I was a lot older that the guy used to always let me off the last £5 because I'd go in every week and just kept paying £2 off every week, and then I got a football shirt. And so I never paid the full value for any football shirts I had as a kid, and just loved that shop. Loved that shop so much that when I was older and I would go work for him in the summers and go round the markets and sell football shirts to people, and I was just in awe. And sometimes some of these shirts would fall off the back of a lorry, and he would then be selling them. It was almost that dodgy, but also incredible. And I just wanted to wear every shirt. I was like, oh my God, I just want everything in the shop. I just fell really in love with football shirts as they were, and just how they're all different. And it definitely felt like all the manufacturers definitely had their sort of style. Very unique time in the 90s.
Yeah. What would, if there's one shirt from that era that you feel like that's the one I wanted to wear? Because you said, so were you a Celtic fan then, or were you Man United? Or
I originally, when I was a little kid, I was a Man United fan, and then I got taken to Celtic Park, and that was the first ever stadium that I'd ever been to, and I was just in awe. And from that moment on, I was like, no, Celtic is my team. And I remember they used to get the little shirts on the Frosties for the end of your pencil, and I had the Anders Tom one of those, and I loved that. And ever since then, it was more Celtic was the sort of the main team, because my parents are from Scotland as well, so it was more encouraged to support Scotland, and really follow Celtic. And then since then I've been to Celtic Park so many times and love the stadium, and I think I've only ever been to Old Trafford once to watch England.
I think that's the thing, and it makes it a lot easier when you've got a family connection up there as well. My family are predominantly Celtic as well, but then they're all from Paisley, so they've all got an affiliation with St Mirren as well. So it's kind of my grandma's St Mirren, but everyone else is Celtic. So I'm like, right, okay, I'll happily sort of dip between the two. So when I get up there, but it's nice to sort of go there. And you're right, it's as a stadium, it's just incredible to sort of be part of that atmosphere. Sort of be like, wow, this is crazy. It's huge stadium to be part of. I don't know if. And again, I'm maybe going to slightly misjudge the age here. And it's a question I've been meaning to ask. And I don't know, Si, I don't think you will be able to remember it. But Nick, maybe you might. Again, maybe a little bit too young, possibly. But do you remember back in school, right? Walker's Crisps used to do a collection for school football kits. If you convinced your school to eat, and this is again, maybe this was a North.
I think I remember that. Right? I think we did.
You
convinced your school to eat loads and loads of crisps, and then eventually you'd get your kit for school. How mad's that?
Yeah, we had that. There was also one with Pepsi cans or something, recycled Pepsi cans or Coke cans.
Oh, okay.
They did, yeah. And it might not have been for kits for the school, but yeah, there was definitely something along those lines. Because I remember we were all smashing down the cans and bringing them into school in a big bag. And you had to cut the bits out of the Walkers, didn't you? The little square out the back.
Yeah.
We did have that.
We even had Sunny Delight, where we got free we got basketball hoops because you had to drink so much Sunny Delight and then take it in, plastic bottles or bottle lids or something. But it just went towards PE equipment.
Yeah, because I remember when we did that. So this would have been when my primary school. So we're talking the late 80s. It wasn't even the 90s at that point. So I went to secondary school in 91. So it would have been 89 or 90. We're saying about your first tournament. I watched Italia 90 when that was on. That was my tournament. I saw bits of 86 World Cup, but Italia 90, I remember watching it even in my grand's upstairs, on the black and white telly. I watched that religiously. And then USA 94 was was amazing. But I remember when we did the Walker's Crisps collection, there was anger about what colour school kit we were going to wear because we'd never had a kit before. Like we'd sort of like just ended up, and I don't know where schools get their kits from, but presumably there was just a collection of kits that had been passed down from another school, possibly, or like a Sunday league team that no longer existed. And I think we went from, I mean, let me get this right, because my memory of my childhood is not brilliant, but I think we went from red and black to sky blue with navy blue sponsor, black shorts and red socks. It looked awful, to be honest. I don't know what they were thinking. And I remember the goalkeeper kit was the best one though. That was green with the elbow pads, and it was a little bit like the England goalkeeper kit at the time, the sort of the Umbro one. It was a little bit like that, the Peter Shilton Italia 90 one, and it had the sort of the cross the shoulder black pads. I think the Scotland one was grey. But it had that. So the goalkeeper kit actually looked fine. So I was like, I might play in goal because that looks better than this other nonsense you got to wear as an outfield player. But not for me, thank you. No.
I've just looked. 2001, they were still doing it. So
really?
It was
wow.
It was going for quite some time.
Oh, drop some comments below. Let us know what your school kit was that had Walker's Crisps on the front of it. That'd be amazing. Was it Walker? It might be just Smith's Crisps back in the day as well. So.
See, I only went to a small school, so we could never ever get enough of them for like to actually do anything worthwhile with them.
We went to a school in the northeast. We were raised on crisps. So I think it was just...
the crisp wasn't the problem. It was the volume of students. I think there were like 60 kids in the entire school, so it was like just a little village school. But yeah, like even your school kit, you had to sew your badge on, right?
Yeah,
about sewing the badges on. You sew your badge on your school kit and everything.
And then they sewing the Football League badges and the Premier League badges on as well
onto your sleeve. Yeah, yeah. You pay extra for those nowadays to have them included. Yeah. You get your Premier League badge or your La Liga badge on the sleeve.
It's got nostalgic, hasn't it? Okay, so we've started. So we've started there. Then with that, that was the moment. So what was the favorite kit then? What was the favorite kit, Nick? What's the one that's been the beacon? I mean, you're wearing an absolute belter now. You've got the little neon one. Like, is there a favorite Celtic kit?
Or anything kit, doesn't have to be
Celtic. Or an anything kit.
Yeah, I do think the Bumblebee one is probably my favorite just because it's iconic. Even though this one is like my first ever like Celtic kit. In terms of, I did really love the France '98 Scotland kit.
Oh,
yeah. Like so. So this is a bit of I don't know. So when like it was just before Christmas, and my sister ended up working for someone who ran a photography studio. So she was there like doing a lot of admin, and it was her first job at school. And she organized for us to have a family photo for my mum for Christmas, and like got all of us together and surprise it. And me being me, I just thought, I'm gonna wear my football shirt to this like family photo. And so I've got like I'm wearing the Scotland 1998 like World Cup shirt, and that has a little button here.
There it is. There,
yeah, that has a little button. Then again, similar to this sort of pattern, and it has a lot of tartan, as you can see. Yeah, in both in the badge, but also around the collar. Yeah, that little button. It actually has the SPF, the Scottish Association lion. Yeah, I think it's got the SFA lion on it. But that one is an incredible shirt, and that shirt I've got the shorts, but I've never been able to find a shirt since I've been an adult. No idea where it's went. And it again, it's one that I, trying to purchase again as an adult, and hopefully I'll have a sort of an older one. But I don't know if I could bring myself to pay over £100 for a football shirt nowadays. I think I'll get told off by my wife. So, but that is just such a beautiful shirt, just especially with the tartan trim. It just sort of makes it for me.
Yeah, I think Si, we've had that conversation, haven't we? Like, how much do you pay for shirts? And nowadays, looking back at these old ones, getting them again, it's just, you just have to sort of maybe go, it's gone, and I just can't justify bringing it back. But
I mean, that one though, surely. Where is it? 1998. Surely that one's one that they've done as a score draw remake. I know they've done some of them as score draw remakes.
They have. I just can't bring myself to buy a remake like that. I don't know if that's maybe a bit snobby.
Tony's the same.
I'm the same. I'm absolutely the same, and I am snobby about it. Like, I understand that.
Yeah, it's either real or not. And for me, I'm just like, I'd rather have the real one. But if I can't, if I can find it, and then obviously it's so hard when you're buying them online because you're like, are they fully trustworthy? So you have to always like go, can you send me pictures of, say, the tags, or especially in this era, likelihood is probably it's going to be a big blue, thick, like sort of tag, and likelihood there's a lot of them were ripped. Yeah, a lot of that blue were ripped.
Yeah.
Because when they were in the shop as well, obviously they would put the gun in to put the tag in. A lot of people would just rip it out, and they would actually rip the tag itself, even though they're quite sturdy, and or security tags, etc.
They didn't have the product codes either.
No, did they?
Which would have helped. Like, I've got a really annoying. The product codes come in around 2002, 2003. I've got a 2002 Juventus shirt that I bought recently, and trying to find, like, it doesn't have a product code. And I don't know, it might even be that the product code is there, but it's like the way they've stitched the labeling, because it was one of the very early ones. Like, it's sort of folded into the fabric. And it's like, looking online, some of them have product codes, some of them don't. They all seem to be genuine, because there weren't as like, when you get a fake of this era, you're very much able to tell. But now people have started to do remakes of some of them. It is getting harder. The material is probably the easiest way to tell, but you'd need an original to compare them. You know, if the material's too good, it's probably newer, like, in a weird way. You know, if the material feels like you're going to be itching in it, it's probably the right material.
And if it's got tags at this age, then it's not real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If it's massive, then it's real. Like, if it's huge, if it says large and you can hold it up against your house, then it's probably about right. Yeah, not like large now, where it's like, if you move, then it's going to rip. It's not that. Come on.
Well, I mean, that is the thing with the fakes. They're even smaller, because a lot of the fakes are made for an Asian audience. And Asian people are generally smaller than people from the rest of the world. So the sizing is all completely different. If any of you ever bought clothes from Asia, you always have to go 2 or 3 sizes up than what you should, but then what you normally would be, because the sizing is completely different. So a medium, you're suddenly an XL in Japanese, Chinese, Singapore sizes.
I'm an XL in December and January, and then try and get back down in about February. So you mentioned there that then that's the Scotland one, but I mean, you mentioned at the start of the show, Nick, you had a bit of time in the States. Probably worthwhile mentioning that, given the fact that all the MLS shirts have come out this week. Going back to the time in the States, then. Who was the teams that you? Or did you get any of the shirts at the time, or what was the era that you were in the States?
I did get quite a few shirts. It was pretty cool, actually. There was a lot of shirts that were sort of given to you as prizes or presents. Because I was out there, so I worked for MLS, like, soccer camps. So I went out there as a football coach, and I first of all was based in Dallas, and then I worked in California and LA, and Northern California as well. It was before, I think the earthquakes had folded, and then they were sort of like just coming back as well. At that side, it was just the era. I think the first year I went out was, I think it was 2006. I want to say it was 2006, 2007 season. So I think it was just as Beckham was going over in Beckham Mania. The MLS camp sort of like franchise was the first year that it was all sort of Adidas. So every kit was Adidas that era. Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. yeah, I recognise like some of those shirts. I've got quite a few here, which I can definitely hold up. But
show them. Let's
do that. Let's pull that.
Better get rid of that. Show us the real ones.
But some of them that are really, really interesting is this one is probably the most interesting because it's Chivas USA. So
nice.
So you can see the template of the kits. A lot of the kits had sort of this collar, sort of round neck. All of them were Adidas. And obviously they all have the logo on the sides and American badge, which is pretty on the sleeve. But this team is no more. Obviously, it's Chivas Guadalajara, but not Chivas USA. So I think it was it's the other LA team that actually LAFC that's taken the spot. But they used to ground share with LA Galaxy. So we actually had season tickets for LA Galaxy that we could go to all the matches and Chivas. So I went to so many Chivas games as a fan. And yeah, used to obviously collect football shirts. So we actually got to meet Beckham when he was over there and got to see him play loads. Incredible man actually to speak to. But again, sort of very, very similar with the Adidas badge in the middle.
Very simple, aren't they, as well?
Yeah.
They're like, I guess it's that era, like the mid-2000s, clubs started to be a little less adventurous with their shirts for a while.
I think I prefer that away kit to the home kit as well. I know the white Galaxy home kit. I don't know, for some reason that navy blue and the yellow just seems to fit a bit nicer. Yeah.
This one's a later one, so that's when they actually won the MLS.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
But this one was a player issue one because it actually has. So I managed to get that from an Adidas outlet because you can see because of all this sort of the material that's on the top.
Is that not on the fan one then?
No, that isn't on the fan one. So this would have been a player issue one because like you can actually it actually holds. So
the stretch on
move the material. Yeah.
Nice.
What's actually quite interesting as well is for the Adidas bit is all of this is stuck on. So you can see it's just embroidered in, but this is actually again that same sort of material that isn't. Like it is literally just stuck in, which is pretty cool. It's definitely it's trying to be as lightweight as possible.
Is that the era when they started experimenting with recycled plastic? Is that? So just thinking like with that, all the bits and bobs on the back of the shirt. Like, I know that, and I forget what year it was, but a lot of shirts then started like sort of saying about how much recycled plastic was going into football kits, and I wonder if it was around about that time. I'm no good with dates, but I must admit, but I don't know if it was or not.
I don't know if you watched the Beckham documentary, but this is the time where there was like fans were very up in awe that he had come back. So around that sort of era.
That looks like 2010, I think. Is that 2010, 2011? Okay. Would that add up, Nick, with when you were there?
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I think I left just as the Olympics came back to the UK.
Because for a few years, LA Galaxy had a stripe, like a River Plate stripe. Just after that.
Sort of very retro shirt. This one actually had a little bit of
Red
collar.
But
yeah.
I like Thierry Henry, very nice. I like the number set on that as well, and the name set. It's very cool.
Classic, isn't it?
A lot of people don't like the Red Bull stuff, and I sort of understand it's like big corporation thing, but at the same time, I do quite like the Red Bull logos. As logos go, is kind of a cool logo, and Red Bull as a brand is kind of a cool brand. They invest a lot in different sports, and they have their the cliff jumping and the soapbox racing and extreme sports, and I don't know. I feel like Red Bull is like a cool brand, even if they sell energy drinks. But I understand the German approach where they don't like it. Seattle Sounders,
nice.
The Xbox 360 Live on it as well. It's good.
So it's again just loads of them. My favorite one that I managed to get though was an All-Star
AT&T. Oh, it's an All-Stars one.
All-Star shirt. Nice.
So this one, so you can see. So that's the 15th anniversary one. It was based in Houston, Texas. So it tells you on the back, which is pretty cool. So it tells you on the back sort of when the MLS.
That's cool.
So this was the 2010. So yeah, so it says Houston, all Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And they're stuck on logos, are they? Or are they like a embroidered logo or?
Yeah, they're sort of stuck on. Yeah, they're not embroidered. Yeah, as you can see.
It's lovely though. It's really nice. Yeah, no one's brought an all-star kit on before, so
yeah,
I've got one. I've got one.
You've got one. All right, okay.
Yeah, I was just looking for it. See if I can find it.
So, all of a sudden, Sai's got one now, has he?
I know. Yeah, mine's more recent. I think I might even have two. But one is the Mexican. They do two games, don't they? They do an MLS All Stars, then they also do one against the Mexican teams. I think. I might be wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Nick.
Do you know? I can't remember. I can only remember the All-Star game between the sort of the best players from the MLS teams that were called up. But yeah,
it's a very American concept, isn't it? The All-Star game. Like obviously they have it in soccer and then NFL and NBA and ice hockey, but you couldn't have it over here. Imagine trying to sell that over here. Everyone would be like complaining, wouldn't they? Oh, it's another game for because we played Dubai for a start. That would be.
Oh yeah.
Didn't Todd Bowley come in? When he came in, he said that it would be good to have a North v South game. I'm pretty sure that was part of everybody was laughing, but I think it would it'd be a good TV attraction.
Yeah,
certainly. And yeah, the MLS All-Star game, I really enjoyed always watching it. It's almost the same as like Soccer Aid. Like you just watch it. It's a game of football. You don't really care too much about the score. You just want to see the players perform. But yeah, just the best bit about that era though was the teams that ended up coming over to the States and playing, like the famous AC Milan team with like Kaká and Ronaldinho and came over. Oh, that's an incredible MLS.
Oh, now
it's talking. 10 years past mine. So that's 2020. Yes. That would be.
Yeah, that's a recent one. Picked it up last year.
It's a newer badge as well.
Yeah.
I like
that classic MLS badge as well, though. The football with the foot. That's for me. That is MLS. That right there. And kits with their team name on the front. That's what I like.
So the company that I used to work for, that was the emblem of the badge, but underneath it had camps.
Oh, cool!
So literally just had camps, and so all of our gear was Adidas. Unfortunately, that company then folded, because it's quite costly bringing in a lot of English and Scottish and British coaches, sending them over to the United States and hiring them out rental cars, and then we're sort of going out and doing all these camps, and every kid would get a brand new Adidas ball as they're like over the camp. Yeah, it was incredible.
There you go. So that's the
Mexican.
There must be a league. Yes, this must be the Liga MX All Stars game, which has got like a.
That's nice as well.
It's another Charlie one, which has got like
that's incredible
Native American. So I don't know what year this is. Probably a year or two ago. But yeah, I don't know if they play against the MLS All-Star team or what they do now. They do something, I'm sure, but it would make sense, wouldn't it? They should do that.
Interesting.
I've got a massive bag of shirts here, which is incredible. But I've, in there, there's like Real Salt Lake, there's Colorado Rapids, there's FC Dallas. Just basically any kind of shirts that I could find when I was over there, and their equivalent of like TK Maxx. I think it was like TJ Maxx or something.
It's the same company.
They just had their all of the shirts over there.
They couldn't call it TJ Maxx in the UK because there's TJ. There used to be TJ Hughes, so people thought it was confusing.
I'd get confused as well. To be honest, I think that I owned a shop and I'd be like, what? When did I get this? It's bad enough the fact that Jameson's whiskey's not associated with me, but someone's making an absolute killing and I'm not. So there you go. We should say as well that obviously the new kits have come out now. Nick, you've got all the old ones, which are the best ones, really. But the new ones have happened, Sai. So Nick, Sai, let's talk through them, shall we? Our
you did mention Adidas. Adidas making them all still. They're licensed to make every MLS kit,
which is good. I like that as well with American sport. No, I do. I like the fact that each team has a sort of a uniformity about it. I like that.
But then they all get the same like pre-match shirts. They get all the same. All the third shirts become the same. And the other problem is, and this has been a big problem this week, is the pricing.
Yeah, price is the big issue to us.
I think it's now 180 for the shirt, $180, which is probably about 150 quid. Which, like, I think 50 quid for a football shirt is steep, but 150 for an MLS shirt is seemingly a lot.
Yeah, Nick, we're saying there we wouldn't pay 150 quid for a vintage shirt. You're not going to get a brand new one for the same price, are you?
Yeah, for me, I've got a strict rule when it comes to football shirts now because I love like buying them. So my rule is it used to be no shirt over 20 quid, and now it's no shirt over 30, just because I'm like, it needs to be a bit lenient. But I unless it's bought for me as a gift, and then that gets away from the rules, which is quite nice. So, Mum, if you're listening, then yeah, I would quite like the new Celtic shirt. But no, I just wait until either sales, or I just try and be really, really smart and bid. But yeah, I just think £100 and plus £100 for a football shirt. I can understand if you're getting all the name set and you're getting all the badges, I can get it, but I think a new pair of like shorts for like the kit and the socks is 50 quid for both, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot.
And footballers cut them now. They've cut the socks. They're 40 quid a pair of socks. Come on.
I have pretty much the same price points, although I've made a few. So these Charlie ones were the first ones where I made a little except. So I went up to like 35, 40 for these. I think 40 is like where some of them ended up priced at, but even then I'll try and, if I see it at 40, I'll wait for a classic football shirt sale where they get 20% off, and I'll get it down to £32, or make sure I get free postage on it or something. So yeah, there's but I normally won't go higher than 30, particularly unless it's something really that I really, really want. Even then, 40 is like my maximum. I wouldn't touch anything above 40. It's I get my mystery shirt that probably costs a bit more every month, but yeah, 100. These are a lot. I mean, the other thing is I've got a couple of MLS shirts. So we got a couple of actually the second tier shirts. Tony, you've got a couple.
Yeah,
I've got some. Tony bought me one, which is the Rocket League one up there. The San Diego Loyals. Unfortunately, they don't exist anymore. They went out of business. I don't think they're playing this year. Anyway. That's a really nice shirt. And so the second tier, I don't know why they call it the second tier, because they don't have promotion or relegation, but the second tier of American football. And I think now there are 2 second tiers. I don't know. It's a very confusing system that they have over there. Their shirts are better. They've got a lot of really cool manufacturers in there. But yeah, we can look at some of this year's ones. And are there any that you guys have already seen that you want me to pick up on straight away?
I did like the sorry.
No.
Said about the Metro Stars one was like the it was based off the Metro Stars, so it's the New York Red Bulls. So it's harping back, which I do think is that I can understand. So they're going back to sort of the old color set of the shirt.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's based off a sort of a New Jersey Metro Stars.
I have a feeling they've got something. Now I'm going to grab another one. Here we go. This one here. Now this is New York City. This isn't New York Red Bulls, but they've sort of gone for the same like zigzag across it in a way. It's obviously different, but it's like vertical. But I don't know if see that shirt's reminding me of something, and I can't put my finger on it. It does look a bit like a pre-match shirt in a way.
It looks like a pre-match Man United shirt, doesn't it? But like. You're right. Obviously, the color scheme is definitely a nod back to the original ethos and the original team, I suppose. There's a couple of interesting ones which have. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
See, that makes me feel like those Women's World Cup shirts.
Yeah.
Like if you told me that's a Sky, and I'd be like, yeah, sure. I don't know if the sky ever looks like that in New York, but if you can see the sky in New York. But yeah, it's oh wait, there's like an imprint on it. Oh, they've ruined it.
Oh no,
I didn't notice that before. There's like NY in New York written all over it.
You know what that looks like? That looks like when you load up an image online and it's got like a watermark on it.
Yeah,
like they've got a watermark in their shirt, so you can't copyright it
and steal it. Yeah, it does.
It's weird.
I don't know.
The color looks, like it just looks a bit dirty, doesn't it? It doesn't quite look clean, and I know what I mean in my head, and like I hope it's come across the right way.
There's a few like that.
couple of shirts that I think are interesting on this one is if you just scroll up a little bit, Si, before we get to Portland, because I'm going to come back to Portland in a second. The one that is for the Columbus Crew, which looks like it's come straight from Charlie Brown with the with that sort of bit across the midriff. Such a odd, like, because that's there. If that was there across the midriff, fine, brilliant. Let's take that. But it doesn't need all the other bits of Adidas around it, which I know it obviously has to because it's Adidas, but it almost jars a little bit. Like, I feel it just needs that middle bit or nothing.
Oh, I like it. That would make a great Borussia Dortmund shirt.
Oh, imagine that in neon. Tom FM would hate that.
The neon yellow. I think
that Columbus badge is a bit.
They've redesigned it. They must have redesigned it, right? They used to have a man with a hammer or something, right, and a helmet. Sledgehammer, big.
So I quite like that.
That's the funny bit about the MLS teams is because obviously there's been the expansion teams. Obviously, a lot of them are changed. A lot of them are rebranding. It's quite nice to see some of the original badges are still there. Like even when I moved to California, and the Galaxy badge changed that year. So yes, but it's almost it's quite nice. It's quite nice that some of the sponsors have still stayed relatively the same for a few years as well for some teams.
Yeah, I do like that Charlotte kit as well. You've just kind of just about touched upon it. That was good. The one I was going to try go straight for. I quite like that. I like that.
I thought I'd seen another version of this, but with like a well finance thing on it, or has someone else got a similar kit? I feel like they do. Maybe they don't.
I don't know, but I quite think that's...
Someone will have to let me know what I'm thinking of. I'm sure I've seen someone else, maybe an Italian team or something with that, or a lower league team, or maybe it was like a mock-up of this one. But yeah, I do have a problem with some of the sponsors on some of the American shirts, because not all of the sponsors are, we have a problem with the betting sponsors here. And then like Herbalife, for example, there's a couple other ones that are I think Orlando Health is a bit of a dodgy one. I think there's a few that are like MLM companies, basically big pyramid scheme scams. Herbalife is definitely one that sponsor the football kits that always make me feel a bit awkward about wearing them. I don't like the shirts with betting sponsors in the UK, and I don't like the ones that, even like Family Insurance feels a bit off. Or I do quite like that shirt, the Atalanta United one.
I don't think that's a family insurance firm. I think that's very much focusing on. Oh, hey, you know what? We can help. That sort of angle there.
But there's some interesting ones. So the LA Galaxy away is kind of like but I feel like Adidas have done this a few times recently. I feel like there was a Dortmund one similar to this.
I think I prefer the third shirt.
The third. I was about to pick on the third. So
I think I would.
Yeah, AFC.
Yeah, I think I would buy that.
I don't know if this picture is very grainy, which also it makes it feel like you've picked it up in like a 80s video store. But
I don't know why, but I don't like brown on a football shirt. I don't think I've ever seen a football shirt that's really nice with brown on it.
The Sao Paulo one. Sao Paulo do brown quite nicely.
Oh, true, yeah. I guess
you're right.
Yeah.
It's a very no one really goes for it, do they? No one goes for brown unless they have
any
a choice.
English teams that play in brown.
Fulham away kit was brown once. I think that was the
with Clint Dempsey.
Brown.
Yeah. I think it was that era.
I think it was the 70s. Well, I think they had a brown away kit, but apart from that, I can't remember a brown football shirt. Let us know below if you've got a favorite brown football shirt.
I like this shirt. This is Minnesota.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the space feel, isn't it?
And this is where the sponsor just sort of it doesn't ruin the shirt. Like no text. It's I think it's Target, right? The American
it's Target
store. Yeah. In fact, it was the same on the MLS, the All-Star shirt that I had. It's just white. It sort of fits in with the branding. It helps that their logo sort of fits. But even if you'd replaced it, say, with the Apple logo, which you can see they've all got on the sleeve, like I think it would be fine. But yeah, I think the Minnesota one is pretty cool. The other ones, the Philadelphia Union one is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I like that. We looked at that last week, didn't we?
Yeah, with the return of the return of Bimbo on the sponsor, which has always been a classic of Mexican teams. There's a few Mexican teams with Bimbo on their shirt, but
I like the Portland Timbers home shirt as well. That's
Portland Timbers had this one with like the Czech. We did show off a load around Christmas, didn't we? Of the Czech style ones, or of like played.
Some tiny. It's almost tartan-esque.
Yeah,
almost
tartan.
Yeah, I was going to say if that was the Celtic away kit, because obviously we have Adidas, that would be amazing.
Be all over that, wouldn't you, Nick? Yeah,
that would be so good. Yeah, I would 100% wear that.
Start the petition now. Although, would you be allowed green? Is the away? Actually, your away kit green anyway?
Yeah. There is green away kits. Yeah, I've got plenty of green ones down here. Yeah, we always seem to wear a green away kit.
Celtic do that really lovely thing of going, our home kit is white and green, our away kit is green and white, and our third kit, green with a bit of white on it.
I have got to admit, actually, like that is the only thing that I don't like now about newer football shirts is just the fact that they just keep bringing out more. Like for a season and then only wear them for a season. Like that's almost why I quite like
even that. Some of them,
yeah, some of them don't even get worn. I remember a couple of seasons ago, Celtic didn't have an away kit that they could play against. I think it was Hibs, and so they had to then go back and use the previous season's third kit. So just to then fulfill the fixture. It's insane, really.
But you wonder, like, in the season planning, Hibs, like Celtic must have been looking like, we play Hibs again. Like, have they changed their kit from green? Like, because they've been wearing green a lot. Like, all of our kits are green. Have we got another color? Like, it's not like it's come as a surprise, is it? Like, you're in, like, you get them in the Champions League or whatever. You're like, oh God, never thought they'd wear green as well. But you play Hibs every single season. You should know the color wear.
Exactly. And then they had to use different shorts and sock combo as well. But the shirt was, I think, pink at the time.
Now, this is on Seattle, the screen right now. Sigh.
Well, you're sighing. You're basically wearing the blue version of this right now.
Well, so what it is, right, is I'm on the fence about Seattle this year, right? Because we'll come to their home kit in a second. This away kit, I quite like it. I side, but I quite like it, right? Because you're right, it's very, very similar to what I've got going on right now. It feels like it would be an amazing Belgium kit. Could you imagine that's a Belgium kit? Out of class, wouldn't it? Like the red, the yellow, the black, it all works beautifully. Let's have a little look at this home kit for a second. And then between us, we'll all try and work out what's happened here. Because this is like, what's gone on, Nick? You've got a Seattle kit from before. What on earth's happened here?
It seems like they've gone for lighter shades. Like, because even if you look at this is like an old retro. This is an old retro away kit. That was the first season, I believe, as an expansion team, and that was the away one. But I think they've gone all lighter. But it seems like the same colours though, really, like the blue and the green.
It reminds me of a dinner lady's apron. You know, in the school dinner lady. Yeah, the tabard.
It feels like, right, and this is like I know I've got a few mates who would probably be shouting at me right now. It feels like this has been designed for Jackson Irvine to wear for a photo shoot, right? And just and it's not actually designed for anybody to play in. Just him and Hector Bellerin have to be photographed in this football shirt, and then it just goes away again. Like that's what it feels like, you know.
I think it looks a bit like a Brazilian team shirt.
Yeah, it does feel very Brazilian, like a bit like Gremio or someone like that.
Yeah,
like similar colors with the lighter pastel colors.
So there's the thing, right? So when you scroll down, so you got the football shirt, and then the first picture is of someone wearing chinos. That's exactly what it's designed for. It's not designed to be a football kit. It's designed
to be a jumper underneath.
Exactly.
And it does look darker in that light, though.
It does look darker, yeah.
But it also looks like it's like, I mean, it looks amazing there, actually, I must admit. But it looks very much like as if the sort of football kit you'd wear in the workhouse. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, they've chosen some interesting pictures against some flowers.
You know, I was saying when I was a kid, like, and I turned up to that photo shoot wearing that football shirt. That's how probably I imagined it in my head. That I would turn up in the Scotland shirt looking like that.
But the problem is, it's seeing it on those pictures there. I like it a bit more than the, and it's got a plain back sigh.
Yeah. Although there is a little tiny little orca on there.
Oh, just as I was about to go, you know what? I'll say it's fine. Then it does that again. Oh.
You don't like the little orca?
No, it's the plain back.
The plain back. Something I just noted, and I did think as soon as I saw that 2024 away shirt, and it's interesting they've listed it as the 2024 away shirt, because I was thinking I nearly bought that shirt a few months ago, but I can't have done because it's a new shirt. This is the 2023 one.
Wow.
Is it the same?
Same, right?
Or have they tweaked it?
Looks darker, maybe.
Trying to see the that's 2023. That's 2024.
Oh, maybe it's the same shirt then. Because look at the.
Normally they don't list them separately. That's the weird thing.
It's the
badge going into the badge.
Oh, carried over. Yeah, it's got a new crest. They've changed the crest on it.
Yeah.
So they've re-released it with the new crest. They carried over the shirt design, added new crest, because the other one must have the crest, which is more similar to the one you've got.
Yeah, the old school.
Yeah, and they've simplified their crest to this newer one now, which doesn't say the team name, just has the Sears Tower. Sears Tower, isn't it? Cool. Right. So there's a selection of MLS shirts, all very, very expensive now. I mean, just if you want a Seattle away shirt, just go get last year's one, because I've seen it on sale for about 30 quid, I think. I'm pretty sure the LA Galaxy one is carried over. Yeah, this one is also carried over. So some of these have been carried over. I did think I'd seen some of these before. I think all the away shirts seem to be carried over. But that's good. I guess that's a plus that they are carrying some of them over and not just replacing them with the new shirts. Oh, Toronto. We've got to look at Toronto.
Oh, that is an amazing shirt. That's cool.
That's Carnival, isn't it? That one.
Yeah, that's class, isn't it?
I had my old Toronto, so I had the home and away Toronto shirts, but both of them, the sponsors have fell off. But same sponsor, the BMO, but both fallen off of my shirts.
That is a carried over one as well. What do the sponsors print? Was it like just like the stuff that comes off in the wash, where it's just screen printing?
Screen prints, yeah.
The
Toronto third shirt, Si, is, and here's a link for you, is the exact binary opposite of the brand new AIK shirt that was released this week, isn't it?
I have it already loaded. I don't need your link. I'm ready for it. Well, I say I'm ready for it. Here it is. I've got it.
Nic, we're a fan of AIK on this channel.
Here we go. Cult kits.
Look at that for their new centenary kit.
Do you like it, Tony?
Yeah, I do, don't I?
So if you don't, I don't know if you saw the shirt of the year episode, Nic, but AIK won our shirt of the year. But it was a very intricate design, and it beat out a design very similar to this. That was the Hearts 125 year. Have you seen the Hearts 125 year?
Yeah. I really liked that.
It beat out that one, and it beat out, what was it? Was it the Wimbledon shirt? It beat out, Tony.
The Wimbledon away
with Football Manager on it. Yeah. Football Manager came second, and Hearts came third, which is very Hearts.
What I loved about those Football Manager shirts as well was that I think one of them was like a light blue, and one of them was a dark blue with the yellow trim.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, it was the dark blue one with the gold. Was it gold or was it yellow? Yeah, sponsor, and we were like, that should be the home shirt. Like, it shouldn't have been the third shirt. But look at this, man, on this AIK. They've gone with the different Nike logo again. Side, like they had their own Nike logo last year.
Old school.
I'm a fan of long sleeve football shirts. I do like a long sleeve shirt. I love a collar. That's a massive V-neck collar. AIK written across the front in big bold text. Yeah, give that to me. Thank you very much. I'll have that. And then it's somewhat Kevlar box or something as well. Oh, look at it being worn.
Now, there's something I've spotted on it, and it looks off. And the collar, it's the collar. The collar is very large and sticks up. and I don't know if it's too much. You can see it. You can see it on the right here. The player on the right.
I'm all
see
right with it.
quite
Nick,
how large that collar is.
What do you think?
It is so classic, but yeah, it appears that from this angle for that player, it probably does look a tiny bit too big for him. But I just having it with the sort of the white shorts, it just looks just the contrast of colours looks really cool.
Yeah. And interest as well on that picture, you can see there doesn't seem to be any player name set on the back of the shirt either. It's just the number. So there doesn't seem to be any player name.
I'll see if I can share.
Which is quite interesting.
You can see the collar a bit better here, maybe.
Hmm.
Oh, well, let me zoom in, but you can see how big the collar sits.
Fair play as well, by the way, to setting this one up where all the players have got black boots on as well, which again, a nice touch, I think, for that photograph.
Yeah, they're more matching. It is good.
Tiempos, I think they're wearing. Yeah.
It must be really difficult for them to have like Under Armour for those kits.
Yeah, because that'd be like sort of three, like it'd be properly like sort of base laid in, wouldn't it? And then I hope it's baggy over the top as well.
So there's the one it's based off of, the 1924 kit. So it's 100 years of AIK. Which is that? Do you think that one was originally yellow? I guess it's just faded.
Maybe, possibly. Don't know.
I like how it's sort of like just stitched on, but like like as if they didn't have rulers in 1924.
Again, like they've got
straight lines weren't possible.
Again, you had to iron your own logo on, right?
And then there's the number.
Let's see.
Are you a fan, Tony? So, Tony, if I put this one up against last year's one, which
it's different though. You can't. It's like it's comparing apples and oranges, isn't it? I mean, look at what they've done. Like their history of these new shirts that they've brought out. Like they've done a cracking job. Like I just think they're knocking it out of the park. AIK, like every single one's a banger. I think that black one with the gold is probably my least favorite. And that's saying something because had we not had the other shirts, I'd have been all over that.
That makes me think Corinthians, that shirt.
Yeah. But that shirt from last year, that white one with the city imprint on it. I love that shirt so much. Like if that ever comes 20 quid in classic football shirts, which it will never do.
No, they're sold out. They're already sold out of this year's one, I think.
I know.
Apparently they dropped them all and then they immediately sell out. I'd imagine they've produced this year's ones in larger numbers. I mean, and we always talked about this before. This is a smart strategy for a football club because imagine how many people are just picking up AIK shirts, wearing them around, like becoming fans, following the club, playing as them on Football Manager or FIFA or which FIFA doesn't exist at the minute, but whichever video game. Other video games are available. I know Nick's here, so we have to say
they are available, but they're rubbish. Don't play them.
True. On Football Manager, so you play as. There is the Swedish League, isn't there? So you can go play as AIK. It's like I think you begin to pick up fans of those teams. That's sort of how people start. It might not be your main team, but you might make someone think it's like next year. Now they've done 4 of these, I think, right? Or this is the 5th one, maybe coming up. Next year, everyone's going. The AIK drops come in. Who's getting who here is getting in on the AIK drop for the shirts? It creates almost like a FOMO, a fear of missing out on the shirts, right? And everyone's suddenly talking. Who was talking about AIK even a few years ago? No one was talking about AIK. Stock Swedish football is weird. It runs at a weird time of year. They play on all weather pitches. None of them do particularly well in Europe. So it's like, how do you create a buzz around Swedish football outside of Sweden? You got to go do things like this.
I think they've done a good job. I think they've done a great job, to be honest.
What price would you set for yourself?
I don't think I could. I genuinely don't think I could buy it because I know the price I've got in my head they're never going to be sold for. So
okay, that's fair.
It's not same, yeah.
Okay,
that plain white one with the 1801 across the front of it just looks class as well, doesn't it? with the gold. It's just doing smart things, Nick. Doing smart things.
Well, another European team has released a shirt this week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen this one. We're gonna go from Sweden to Switzerland. FC Basel. Have you seen this one?
I haven't, but I love it.
You like it? This like Harlequin shirt. See, this have made me think of like, it's obviously a Harlequin, like not Harley Quinn, the Batman character, but I was thinking, I'm sure there's been like a version of Harley Quinn where she's basically wearing this shirt. But yeah, it's very cool. It's I like how like the Macron logo is sort of hidden.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
In the diamonds. But yeah, it's a pretty cool shirt. I just hope they do well in it. Otherwise, everyone's going to be calling them a bunch of clowns. You know, it wouldn't be good.
For an MLS story, by the way, when I was out there, I got to watch Freddie Adu come on as a sub.
Ooh, Freddie Adu. Yeah. There you go.
I wonder where's he famous from, Nick? Do you remember?
Yeah, the infamous Freddie Adu. Yeah.
Do you have a Freddie Adu shirt?
I do not. No, that's really sad, isn't it? I know that. Because he had transferred. Because I saw him. We were watching FC Dallas because Shaka Hislop was in goal for FC Dallas. So I was like, this is great.
Nice.
And I believe he came on as a sub, and I want to say it was for Real Salt Lake, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's when he was there. But it was after his DC United move, so wherever he went after DC United. And he came on, and wasn't really playing at that point.
That is pretty cool, to be honest. I don't think there's many people who can say they've seen Freddie
Philadelphia,
Adu
with Philadelphia Union. He did do Las Vegas. Las Vegas Lights had some very nice kits.
Oh, that was really nice.
Tampa Bay Rowdies as well. He played for later on, but Philadelphia Union was probably the one he did. Real Salt Lake, then Benfica, Monaco on loan. I mean, he actually had an all right. Was it Real Salt Lake? It might have been Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, I think it was Real Salt Lake that he was playing for.
Yeah, he played 11 games.
It was DC United who came through, I believe, and then then it was Real Salt Lake. Yeah, and he just wasn't starting. He came on as, and we were so excited to see him, and then we're so surprised that he's coming on as a sub in this game. And but the weather was like so hot in Dallas.
I love the fact as well that it would have only been British people excited that Freddie Adu's coming on, and all the locals would be going, "All right, here he comes. This guy's coming on again, and just not going to do much of it." So that'd be quite interesting. Si, very quickly before we go to any of the next bits, did we mention the new El Salvador kits?
No. New El Salvador
ones. Because obviously we're a fan of the El Salvador kits anyway, Nick, because they're just clean and classic and like just nice, right? This year, the El Salvador national team is 25 years old, and to celebrate, they have brought out some kits that have the Toragosh, which is the national bird. It's ever so slightly referenced on the away kit. I'm just waiting until Si's got them. There they are here. Is it what you got there? Look at these beauties. Umbro doing the business again. Look at that for a home kit.
It's nice. They've had this sort of pattern down like on the other El Salvador shirts, but in a different way. So it's interesting that they've done it sort of in the fabric. They always have this like I like the El Salvador. Just forget a badge. Just ES. Just put ES. Everyone will know. El Salvador.
But how lovely is that? And then look at the long sleeve version.
That's the
there's the bird. There's the bird and the color scheme. That was class.
No, I mean yes, I like it, but it also makes me think like a t-shirt I would have picked up in Top Man 10 years ago.
Yeah, there was that,
That's a great reference.
There's definitely several bow ties in next with that.
Yeah, that's it, right? It's cool. I mean, it is cool.
The shading's really, really nice. I like it. That home kit's lovely though. That is really, and then the long sleeve just looks like really smart.
This long sleeve here. Oh, like the jacket, you mean?
Look at that hoodie.
Oh, you like this one, the t-shirt?
If you go back up to the top, you see the home kit's got a long sleeve version.
Oh, there is a long sleeve version of the home kit. Oh yeah, there is. Here it is.
There, look at that.
That looks like a cricket jumper, Tony.
It looks amazing, is what it looks like.
I swear, my cricket jumpers used to look like this. You know, with they used to have because they're always made with like that vertical stitching as well.
Yeah, I wish they could put the sleeve and just put the Umbro logo just going down.
Oh yeah, like the old style.
Oh, that would be so.
Umbro doesn't do that anymore.
Such a shame. I feel
they should. All right, actually, on that note of things going down the sleeve, I forgot something about the MLS shirt, and I want to gauge opinion on it. This is if you load us back up, Tony. So obviously we're back on those MLS shirts. We're looking at me. Go, here's the Philadelphia Union one, right? Now, there obviously, we were talking earlier about authentic kits and replica kits. The replica kits are like they've cut half the details out, so you notice there's no cuffs. The stripe doesn't even go halfway down the sleeve. Like there's you can see here. So Jake Kit Nerds like put out a load of things that are missing. All the panel trims are missing. Like they've just basically cut most of the shirt out. So they just made very basic shirts, and they're still over $100 for these replica kits. And I wondered what you guys thought of this. Like, I'll see if I can find some other versions of this where you can just see like none of them have the trick. Like, look, on the actual shirt here for New York City, you get like the nice sleeve cuff, and then if you go on the replica, nope, just it's basically a black shirt, right? So like, what do you think? Is that? Do you think the replica should still match, at least in style, the main one?
I think you know what I think. I think this is an absolute disgrace. Especially the only thing that should change should be the material or whatever.
What's gained from that, though? Really?
From cutting it off?
Cost? Yeah, like
that's it, maybe, right?
But cost is maybe printing on the logos and stuff of the Apple TE. But almost like as a sponsor, surely you would want that on there.
I was about to say, actually,
they have cut the Apple and stuff as well.
I do like the fact it's got less sponsors on. So, yeah, you know what? Sock it to the man. Go and buy the cheapest shirt. No Apple logos on there. No MLS logos on there. No thing from them in Chevrolet or whatever. Right? Yeah. Buy the unbranded kit. Yeah.
But you lose your cuffs. Do you want on your cuffs? You don't mind the cuffs?
I do like cuffs. I like the fact you don't get New York Red Bulls on your backside with the
where's the Red Bull? Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't. That's cool. I like the New York Red Bulls. Yeah, you lose that.
That's taken off.
Yeah. You lose this little like line down here. It's not there at all. That little trim.
It just looks like a different shirt, doesn't it?
It's very odd. Like also this bit around the collar. See this extra bit of fabric around the collar. It is there. Actually. There's something different about the collar. I'm trying to put my finger on it. I think it's at the back, right? It's slightly different. I don't know how I feel about it. Sometimes the badges are different sizes as well. The badge is much bigger on the replica. I think they're already charging $100 for this. Like, at least make it look like. Let's be honest. Adidas is not costing Adidas. If they always say a lot of the money is on the design. They have to pay designers and whatever, a lot of money. Well, that cost has already been made. So if the cost isn't in the materials or in the manufacture, then manufacture it the full, style of the shirt.
You're not really spending too much on design when it's an Adidas template, are you? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the
true.
Thing.
Yeah, some of these are templates. Although no, most of these are. Although some of these are then the same as last year or whatever. I mean, that doesn't. Did that take them long in the design room? Probably not. That Orlando City one. It's literally the Adidas stripes down the sleeve in a slightly weird pink color. I think. Is it pink?
It looks like
pink. It's definitely pink. Yeah.
Do both Florida teams play in pink?
Orlando are purple for their home kit, aren't they?
Oh, this is the Orlando City Legacy kit. Okay, so they must have switched to like a pink this year. Strange. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there on opinions, and I guess it's probably a good time to ask Nick what his Room 101 would be, what he would like to ban about football shirts. You could ban a particular football shirt. You could ban something about football shirts. So people have banned. What do people ban, Tony?
Basically non-universal sizings was a very, very popular one. Tom FM banned the neon Dortmund shirts from the 90s.
Yeah, a really unpopular one, that one.
People have banned the score draw kits, so they've gone in. Collars, of course, have been a contentious subject. So yeah, you can go however you want.
God, it is difficult. I would love to almost ban all fake kits. Like that really does, I guess, frustrate me a lot, especially when you're buying shirts. But yeah, those score ones, they really do annoy me. Like,
they're already in. You don't need to put those in. So if you want a fake shirt,
either that or it's difficult actually. Yeah, I'd say maybe fake kits definitely, or maybe brown football kits. We were on it earlier. Any football kit that's brown,
okay.
Even St. Pauli, which is a shame because I went to go see St. Pauli's B team as well, over in Germany. But yeah, brown. Any football kits with brown on, they can go in if they. No, actually, sorry, my wife, she wanted to make a big she wanted to almost like get on board with the fact I love football shirts, and since then, she hasn't bought me a football shirt. She bought me this one with broccoli on it. Was it the broccoli shirt from Classic Football Shirts? I believe it was a couple of years ago, but it was something like, and it was a weird football shirt. And it's the only football shirt that I've like actually returned and just said,
"Oh, you didn't like it that much? Is it like that? Is it one of?
It was like peas, peas or broccoli or something.
Yeah,
I know which one. It's La Jolla Loca.
Yeah,
is it the La Jolla Loca one? Hang on, I think I've got a picture.
Yeah,
of it.
you got it. That one.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So she bought me that. I'm pretty sure it was that anyway. But yeah, it was that one. Then she was so excited. She was like, "I've bought you a football shirt for Christmas," as like a secret, and I just returned it back. I was like, I cannot wear this, and that is almost, I guess, yeah. For me, it just. I don't mind like alternative football shirts, but I just feel like that one is
Okay, so any football shirts that have vegetables on, they go in there.
yeah.
There is a baked beans one, isn't there? There's a baked beans one.
There's the hex sausages one as well, which
the hex sausages one, yeah.
I just don't know. For me, that's just going a bit too far. Like you're ruining.
I think the execution of this one is bad as well, because I think it looks like a really low resolution picture of some actual peas. Like I feel like they shouldn't have gone for a picture route. And then like when you look at the badge as well, it's very much like it's all just in one material, and like so the material's not that nice. Like it doesn't feel like you can see it, can't you? Like the text is blurry. I got a couple of football shirts like that, and I'm like, I don't like them because they feel cheap in a way. When like some sublimated ones, they're called subliminate. Some subliminated ones are done really well, and some just feel like, this just feels like the worst printer they've ever used, and they've just got some picture of peas and they've stuck it on a shirt. Some of the peas look moldy. I don't like. There's like these bright green bits on it. Would Tony? I take it you wouldn't wear this shirt, Tony.
No, I wouldn't. To be honest, well, what I'd like, what they should have was just put a massive picture of broccoli on the front, and that would have been more palatable than that. It's just, it doesn't.
Oh, it is broccoli. It's not peas. It is broccoli.
But it's broccoli from above. But it's broccoli from above. Like, it doesn't look like. Just have one floret of broccoli. No, just no. Actually, no.
It is odd. There is the ham kit. Did you ever seen the ham kit?
Oh yeah, There was that, and then there was shrimps, I believe. There was all these weird food kits.
All right, you know what? Let's put food-based football kits in there.
Yes,
Nick, that could be the one. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna think of a food one that's kind of nice now. If anyone could think of one, put it in a gingerbread man, Tony. What about a gingerbread man shirt?
Gingerbread man would be amazing, but that also has feelings, so we can't put that in. I'm just trying to search food-based football kits, and I don't think that. Surely there isn't any. Surely there isn't any that look.
I'm surprised no one's done one that looks like a chicken nugget yet. you can just tell there's someone somewhere lining it up to look like, because you can buy all those chicken nugget pillows and things like that. So I'm surprised no one's done a football shirt.
Yeah, if you Google food-based football kits, all it comes up with is football kits that have food for sponsors. So there you go. It's not easy to find in the middle of a show. So we'll maybe anyone feel free to let us know about your favorite food-based football shirts, because they're going in room 101. That's where they're going.
The Subway shirt from Tour that we actually put in our worst shirts of the year.
Yeah, that can go in there as well.
Yep.
So there you go. The final thing we need to ask you, Nick, is obviously the one that we wanted to get you. We primed you beforehand. We give you a blank check. We know you're saying you're not going to spend more than 20 quid on a football shirt. We give you a blank check. What are you spending it on? What is the shirt that you must have to complete your collection? Which is sizable, by the way. We've heard about the sizable collection.
I guess could it be like a match worn shirt?
Could be any shirt at all. Yeah, Trek asked for Roberto Baggio's shirt from the USA '94 World Cup final where he missed the penalty.
Tom asked for a 1996 England shirt, didn't he?
Yeah, 1966.
66, not 1996. Yeah, 66.
Yeah, just any of them. He wanted any of them. So yeah, you can have a match worn shirt.
I probably would say for like the match worn shirt, I would absolutely love. I think just because of like being maybe a favourite player as well. I gotta say the day that Larson scored the chip in the 5-1 against Rangers.
Nice.
But I would also like the headband as well as the shirt. Because he had the dreads then, and it probably is similar to this shirt. I think he was wearing the exact shirt. It was either that or a shirt that I got. So it's not really. It's just that I would like that from that day. It just.
I think that is the shirt you have on, actually, isn't it? Or is it the year? It might be the season after. It might be this one, right?
Oh yeah. I think it was that shirt. Yeah.
Or it might be the one that you have on. It is 1998 the year, but I don't know which one. Neither of these have the bit of text that you have. Is yours earlier? Yours 95. No, yours is one of these ones, right?
Yeah, it's exactly that one. So
these are missing the text. You've got bonus text on yours, then, Nick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, got it from the club shop.
There we go.
They won the league.
See, okay. So there's no point me sharing it because you're wearing it. The one you're wearing, but with Larson.
Which was on the back, but is now fallen. So essentially, you want your shirt again.
Yeah, the shirt that you're already wearing, but the actual version.
I'd say that, like definitely, or just for a bit of a different one. I think that I'd probably say if it was match worn again, I'd love to have Beckham's from the Champions League final, in 1999 when they won the treble. Just because I love David Beckham as a player and just how well he performed in that game as well. And the uniqueness of that shirt, because I believe that was like a special made Champions League jersey. It wasn't actually, I believe that was that year where they made a specific jersey that they only wore in the Champions League. They wouldn't wear it in the league. So it's like, it would be proper limited edition and be a prized possession.
Excellent. I'll be honest. I was expecting you to go for Henrik's. Was it the UEFA Cup final against Porto? I thought you were going to go for that. I thought that's because I said to you before we started recording, I was like, I think I know which one you'll go for. I thought it was going to be that, but you went with a chip instead. I guess the memories are potentially devastating. At the end, so
yeah, it's devastating. But I actually ended up getting the away shirt of that season, so I do have.
Oh, Larson. How many Larson shirts do you think you own?
Only 2. So,
you just shown us both of them.
But this is from that season. Yeah, but I love Henrik Larsson. Well, actually, no, sorry, 3, because I actually got one made. So.
Oh, nice.
So
is that one of those icon ones, is it?
It's a guy on Twitter. It's called it's an icon shirt, and then this guy on Twitter is called like CES shirts, and then he puts old sponsors on the shirts for you and old name sets. and then like sort of the Champions League logos for you. So yeah, so you buy the shirt and then sort of send it to him, and I was like, oh, can you make it up to Larson for me? So yeah, just any match worn Larson shirt, I'd be very, very happy with, or match worn Beckham. Just
nice.
Number 7.
It's cheaper, isn't it, if you only have to have one number printed out? So. Awesome. I mean, to be honest, I think that's been a cracking conversation, really. To be honest, we could sit and we could talk for hours and hours and hours, because of course there's quite a collection of kits to go through. But I think what we do, Nick, is I think we bring you back to do a bit of an unboxing on some of the stuff that you still haven't opened yet and that Mrs. Madden doesn't quite know about. So we'll do that in due course. If people want to find more about you, sir, or your job, where can people find you?
Well, people can find me on Twitter. I think it was Nic Madden 3, and at the handle there, or X, should I say? Sorry, always get that wrong, don't we?
Kudos for doing the arms as well.
I know, it's like 90s wrestling now.
I know. So proper bringing it back. I did used to have a DX shirt when I was a kid as well. Believe it or not. I gave it to this kid who I used to live with in America because he loved wrestling at the time, so I gave it to him. And obviously the connotations of that shirt, like it's sort of like it's probably the wrong shirt to give a child or a teenage boy. But
it's Larson on the back as well.
But yeah, you can find me on the old X, and then or on the SI community forums, and Nic Madden on there. So yeah.
Oh, maybe you need a football shirt section on the community forums.
I'm surprised there isn't. Surely there's something.
There might be.
Do
you know what? I've never strayed into off topic. That's a risky area of any web forum.
It's a lawless society out there. It's a GTA RPG. Just like, oh, here we go. Where we go?
It's incredible stuff on those forums, by the way. Yeah, you can lose yourself. Certainly with anything with the internet, isn't it? Now these days, you can lose yourself in a loophole, especially like say watching YouTube videos back to back. You know, you're always recommending something different, and then you get lost in the spiral. So.
Exactly. But Nick, like I say, a pleasure having you on. It's always been awesome chatting to you. Mr. Maggio, where can we find you?
Yeah, Maggio, if you want my Foot Manager stuff, or on Twitter, it's all together, all wrapped up in one. Maggio Football, if you want the football shirt stuff. And I've just unboxed. I've just had 12 years of surprise shirts. So they sent me a double shirt. Not a double, like there's no such thing as a double shirt. It's not two shirts stitched together. They sent me 2 separate shirts, and they are both really nice. And I'm gonna have to wear them for a future show. From 2 completely different countries. Really cool. I'm gonna have to show them off. I've not said what they are yet because I'm saving it for the video, so make sure you check that out. How about yourself, Tony?
Awesome. You can find me as Tony Jameson on Twitter and Tony Jameson FM on Twitch and YouTube. So there you go. That's what you should do. But more importantly, you should make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow @FootyShirtSock on Twitter, because Nick, Twitter didn't let us have all the words on there, so we have to shorten it down to what looks like almost what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much, of course, for being with us. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you comment below. Any brown football kits, find us a nice football kit. Find us something that's got food on it. We'll bung it in room 101. Nick, an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Take care of yourselves, everyone. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. All the best. Bye now.
Thank you.